my knee, I had scratched it up, and it was just weird because all of a sudden it just started everything moving side to side, and we're like, what is going on? It's very
Yeah.
disorienting.
It was. It lasted about 45 seconds.
Wow.
Oh, well, this is as good as it gets, friends.
Ross, I was wondering if I could unshare my screen and I can try to go.
I think we're live.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, yes, it does say we're live. We're good to go.
Hello, Facebook world. Apologies for the minor mishap. This is our member orientation series that kicks off tonight. And I apologize for being in the dark. My power literally just went off about 30 seconds ago. But tonight we're kicking it off, and we have President Justin, who's going to do a member orientation with us, which is a really cool opportunity, not just for our existing members, that you can use this training for prospects as a recruiting tool, and also as a refresher for you as well. So there's lots of benefit to this orientation this evening. Trying to find my screen here. I do have some exciting news about our July membership incentives. So we had a Passport to Civic Leadership incentive that we did in July. And I am trying to, I apologize again, try to find the Word document I had. Here it is. Okay. So I have some exciting news. We had 3 chapters that we had over 150 different passport certifications that came through. So lots of member engagement throughout the states with that. Our top 3 chapters, the first one's coming from Winston-Salem, North Carolina, with 22% member engagement.
Look at that.
That's the home chapter too.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on that. You win an ice cream social.
Oh, cool.
We also have Columbus, Georgia JCs, who came in with 17% member participation, and then our Sheridan, Wyoming JCs chapter with 11%. So top 3 chapters, you win an ice cream social for your chapter, which is really cool. So we'll be in touch regarding that. And then our August incentive is building prospects within the database, and we'll talk a little bit about that toward the end. So with that being said, Justin, you have much more light than I do at your house. If you want to kick off the member orientation, and then if we have any questions, I'll try to track through and bring up the questions as we go.
Awesome. Well, great. Well, thank you everyone for taking time to get on tonight's call. You can have your video off or you can have it on. And the great thing is that tonight is going to be recorded. And so this is something that we can play later to our members locally in our chapters, especially if you bring on new members. But as you've seen, we had Ross Ratliff as our membership development director for JCI USA. And then we have myself as the 100th national president of JCI USA. And I'm Justin Wutzke. So to kick things off, everyone pretty much knows this, but our mission is to provide development opportunities that empower young people to create positive change. The most important thing to remember there is opportunity, empowerment, and positive change. Opportunities plus empowerment equal positive change. We'll talk more about this in a bit. Our vision is to be the leading global network of young active citizens. This means that our mission is how we live our daily JC experience, and our vision is what we aspire to be. So we want to get as many young people around the world to come together to make this vision a reality. The reason we're putting this orientation on is because I found out from our chapter presidents that a lot of them had never had an orientation and they wanted this opportunity to give to their members. And so this is what we're going through this to make sure that people know the opportunity. And I'm spinning it my way with empowerment as we move in and talking about our mission. I often say, as a JC, when you're going through your JC's experience and you have behaviors and interactions between each other, always pass the mission statement through your mind of, when I reacted that way, was it an opportunity? Was it empowering? And was it positive change? If it wasn't, then you might want to go back to that person and have a conversation to reflect on the interaction and come to a better place. Often we don't want a conflict. We don't want to deal with that. So we avoid it, and it starts causing a lot of issue because it causes issue, quite frankly, because it didn't fall within our mission statement. But it immediately falls within our mission statement when you go back to that person and follow up and come to a better place. Okay. So our new slogan as of last year is developing leaders for a changing world. And who would say that our world is changing? Right? So perfect timing, very topical. Our world is definitely changing, and it is changing drastically due to pandemic, but also just due to technology and social media. Our world is changing. Pandemic has essentially thrown us across the football field to the other side. And then what I push a lot is our why. Our why is empowerment. We empower people with opportunities to create positive change. Again, our mission statement. And that positive change can mean a whole lot of things. And we'll talk about that here in a minute with our why. So in JCs, there's 4 areas of development: personal, business, community, and international. And on tonight's talk, I'm really going to focus on personal, because I think once we focus on our own individual reason of why we're part of the JCs, lots of opportunities open up as to see our value and how we can support ourselves, support our fellow peers, and support our collective efforts in our communities to create sustainable change. So again, we're going to focus on personal development. I put this graphic in here. It says, if you want to give light to others, you have to glow yourself. So when you join the JCs, it's not just about just kind of getting involved and putting your toe in the water and your life sucks, but you come to this and you like to help make other people feel better. When you become a JC, it is your duty and your value and your privilege to be able to say, I want to reflect on what I want out of life, and I want to get better at something. And then you're going to share that with the group when you join. And thus, if everyone has that mentality and comes to the table, we're going to be sharing and helping each other achieve our personal goals. I have a little movie here you're going to watch.
What makes some companies more successful than others? It's the way they think and communicate. Most companies start their story with telling you what they sell. Some will also tell you how their product is different. And then nothing. Successful companies flip it around. They first tell you why they sell something, because they believe in healthy living. Then how? By handpicking the most nutritious foods. Only then do they tell you what they sell. Fancy a bite? From why to how to what. That is Simon Sinek's golden circle. The effects: companies using the golden circle sell more products for a higher price, and people like to work for them. Why it works? Our brain is like a golden circle. The outer part does language, ratio, analysis, but the inner part is the one to actually take decisions. It does not respond to language and ratio. It responds to emotions, beliefs, dreams, to why. By communicating from the inside out, you get heard right where it matters, where decisions are being made. So, about to tell your story? Then start with the heart. Start with why.
All right, so I don't know how many people have heard about the golden circle, and I'll also give a heads up. If you want a commentary or say anything, just you can go off mute and say things. And also you can type into the group, and Ross will step in and ask questions as well. But there's not too many people on the call anyway, so it's okay to pipe in. So last summer when I was at Japan Academy, they shared the golden circle, and we've shared it a few times to a few JC leaders over the years as well. But again, it's the what, the how, and the why. And I think in JCs, we often sell the what. We sell that we do haunted houses. We sell that we do the beer fest. We sell that we we make friends, we have conferences, we have leadership development, we have all these opportunities. We keep selling the what, but we don't really sell our why as a chapter. And so that's where I'm trying to communicate to our members to share. So our what is the positive change. And those are all of the output that you can get from your JC's experience. And everyone's what that they want from the JC's is different. And so if your chapter is focusing on selling that haunted house experience, you're only going to get people that like haunted houses. Or if you're really focused on the environment, you're only going to get people that like environment. Our how is development opportunities. So we offer all these opportunities at the local, national, and international level. And we'll share more of that later. But our why is empowerment. And so if we were to focus on our why, that we're here truly to learn about an individual, their passion, what makes them tick, and then share with them the what that they can get out of the JCs, that's when we start changing the conversation as to how getting people involved and engaged in the organization and finding the value. And so as a person attending orientation, it's my encouragement that you figure out what is your why, reflect on your life. Are you happy in your life? What do you want to achieve in your life? And once you figure that out, I want you to share it with your peers and your fellow members and ask them, how could I make this happen in the JCs? Because I guarantee you that pretty much any individual goal and desire that you have can be achieved through the JC's experience. So together we can change our communities, but first we need to intentionally be empowered to discover where we want to be in life as individuals, and then develop our skills to get us there by doing projects, and then empower others to achieve their goals. And so if I joined the JCs and I wanted to be an entrepreneur, I was probably going to be told that I need to run a project, and I probably need to step on the board of directors at some point and learn speaking skills and be able to balance budgets and manage time, people, and assets. And so when I move closer to my goals, because I'm learning in the JCs, I'm feeling empowered, and then I'm going to want to help all of my fellow peers with their goals in their life. And what's better is when we start talking to one another and opening up that dialogue and the conversation, then I don't as a local member have to go ask everyone what they're doing, because I just know that, Justin came to the meeting, he said he wants to start a business and I want to help him. So once we start communicating and sharing aloud what we personally want out of life, it's going to start making the cog of the wheels and the cog, I'm just making up words, the gears start moving together and make the JC's culture fall into place that's supposed to be here. So what if we had a framework to personally develop? A framework, like, has anyone heard of framework in the JCs? So we have this framework in JCs called the Active Citizen Framework. And we're often told a lot that, look at this graph. If you just look at this graph, you will magically go out to your community and you will magically make sustainable change projects. And what isn't magical is that our members see this and they're like, well, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know what this is. But so with that framework, essentially is what we're asking people to do is to analyze, develop, execute, and review. So what you want to start doing is I want each member to apply the Active Citizen Framework to themselves as an individual. And so you need to analyze and reflect on yourself. You need to talk to your friends, ask them their opinion and their perspective about you, saying, what are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? What are my opportunities? And what are my threats of my life? I don't know if many of you have done SWOT analysis on yourself or on your peers or at work or in an environment like JC's. But that's what you essentially do in the community when you start to learn what are the challenges that are truly plaguing the majority of the community, so you can apply solutions to those. But you can start with yourself by just talking to your peers, talking to your friends, asking them, like, what do you think I'd be really good at? What are my strengths? And then you can start really honing in on what you want to do with your life. So once you assess and you analyze, you reflect on yourself, you assess with your friends, your colleagues, your peers, your fellow JC members, you can start to develop out a plan of action of how you personally are going to grow in life and achieve those goals you want. And those goals can be that you want to make friends. Those goals could be that you want to travel more. Those goals could be that that you're passionate about senior citizens or passionate about kids that are not given as many opportunities, and you want to develop projects for that to help them. If your goals are to get a new job or a promotion, write it down, because once you write it down, you're putting the intention there that that's what you want to do. And then you can, again, develop that plan of what you're going to do in the JCs to achieve those goals. And then the next step, once you have the plan, and that plan should have dates as well, and with measurable goals, you're going to execute and you're going to take action. And the great thing is that you're a JC, so you get to fail and you get to learn from your mistakes and you get to get better, better, and better. And if you're living this JC lifestyle of personal development and you're exuding it and you're sharing it with your peers at your chapter meetings, at your socials, you're going to draw attention from other people, and they're going to want to know, what are you doing? I have goals and dreams. What's happening? And you're like, oh, like, well, you know, the ACF, I'm applying it to myself. And then once I really learn it myself, I'm going to be able to go out there and we're going to do the biggest, baddest project we've ever had in our community, because I knew it to my core of how ACF worked, which is Active Citizen Framework. So again, you fail, learn from your mistakes, you review everything you're doing through your plan. Maybe things change. Maybe all of a sudden you have all these friends and you're like, well, I don't need friends now. What's the next thing I want to do? I want to travel, or I want to learn those leadership skills they keep talking about, or I want to be able to communicate better because I feel like no one listens to me when I talk, or that when I want to advocate for something for myself to be empowered, people avoid me or don't want to talk to me. So let's go back and analyze people and find out how they can help me analyze that area of my life to start achieving my goals. Does anyone have thoughts or questions about applying like ACF to your own life? Has anyone thought that this would be like a good idea?
Well, this is MVP Margot, and I actually did that. I was in a career that I was not happy with, and with using the Active Citizen Framework and all the wonderful things that I got in the JCs, it gave me the confidence to step out of that, what was comfortable, even though I wasn't happy, into something that was new and unsure, but something I was passionate about. And I've been there. It'll be 4 years next month, actually. So,
At your new job or as a JC?
and at my new job, not as a JC, at my new job.
It's like, I learned something new tonight.
No, at my new job. I've been there 4 years in September.
Cool. Well, the point of orientation tonight is to let new members know from the start, from the day you begin, that it is your job to come to the table with your goals in mind so that we can help you achieve them. And I think once we start living out that dream and that cultural brand, we can truly start seeing an uplift of so many of our members. Do you want to be stressed and overwhelmed from not being able to find childcare for your family? Or do you hate living paycheck to paycheck? Do you hate the way your boss treats you? Write it down. Say that you want to overcome this and start sharing it with your board of directors and your fellow members and saying, these are the goals I want to achieve in life. And then these are the action steps I'm going to take in the JCs to learn these skills. So you want to advocate for yourself? Then start contacting the national team. Let's get you to the free Nothing But Net Summit and learn to go fight for something that is easily something you should fight for, which is saving lives from a horrible disease, which is directly related to a disease like COVID-19. So personally get to know the framework, then use it collectively in our communities. So when you combine Active Citizen Framework and the project management guide, so the ACF kind of gives you that overall structure of how you're gonna again, assess. You're going to assess and analyze. You're going to evaluate and build that plan. Then you're going to execute, and then you're going to reflect, and you're going to look at the results, and you're going to try again, and you're going to get better and better and better. But through that, you're going to have little action steps and little things you need to do, which is the project management guide. And that is essentially those 10 questions that help you run through what is the event or the project. You are the project. So run through those steps once you know your goal, because you run yourself through the active citizen framework. Put the goal down and then look at like all of those steps in the project management guide of how you are going to achieve those things. Throughout the rest of the membership series that Ross is putting on, you'll learn more details about these things. But with the project management guide, and when you start really looking at your goals in your life, you're going to look at what action steps are you going to take? What behaviors do you have that stop you from achieving your goals? Do you sleep in late? Do you refuse to be around people? Do you not want to have conflict and so you avoid talking to people? Are you a people pleaser, so you're constantly helping other people but putting yourself as second? You know, what are your behaviors that you can change? Who are the people in your life that are hindering you from achieving your goals? Do you need to set boundaries with them? Who are people around you that enhance your attitude or talk to you and make you believe in yourself? How can I surround myself with more people like that are going to help me launch my life and make me as happy as possible? Because this world is a beautiful place and it was given to us for a reason. And in JCs, we're here to leave it a better place than we found it. But so through use of the ACF and project management guide, these are your keys to your personal and group success in the JCs. And once you do it with yourself, you truly understand the process. And that's when you start leading out committees to put on projects and events that are truly going to make sustainable change in your community and build relevancy for yourself and for your chapter in that community, so that you are the go-to people to come to, because you've learned to problem solve, you've learned to evaluate and self-reflect, you've learned to connect different people and businesses together. People want to be part of that, and especially coming into this new post-pandemic world coming. So again, JC's, our cultural brand is attitude plus state of mind. And so again, I've shared this before in other trainings, but you know, if someone wakes up and they just had a really crappy day, they woke up on the wrong side of the bed, and then they go to work and they run into their coworkers and they're like, yeah, like it's a real crappy day today. And then immediately you're pushing this kind of negativity onto other people, and they start kind of distancing themselves from you. And so it's kind of a ripple effect. Whereas with Rush Week, we just proved that a bunch of us put out positive messages. We're smiling. We're excited for life and the day, despite everything going on in our world right now. And it was lighting up people's lives, especially people in these really badly affected areas where they almost are at points where they feel like all hope is lost. We lit sparks in these people last week just by putting out positive vibes and positive energy. And so the power of positivity is so much bigger than we ever realized and that we give it credit to. And so again, if we are being empowering and providing opportunities, it's going to create positive change. And the more intentional we are about it and focused, the more likely it's going to be achieved, the less likely that it's going to fail and it's not going to work out. So again, I talked a lot about to JCI or to JC equals to lead. And I know a lot of times we talk about leadership and that, you know, we are developing leaders for a changing world. And a lot of our members, and maybe you as a new member, don't think of yourself as a leader. Like you just wanted to get involved in the community, you want to help out. But just by taking that step that you want to be part of something that's bigger than yourself, you are a leader. You already are a leader, and you're someone that is bringing the correct attitude, the correct empowerment spirit, and ability to change the world of someone else besides yourself. And when you start with empowering yourself and really focusing and leading by example, you're going to inspire and motivate everyone around you, especially in your chapter, to continue rising and doing that. So again, to lead, to empower and uplift. I always say this, and I once said, you got to put on your yes hat. So instead of, I had a friend once, she said, don't yuck my yum. And so in the sense of like, if say like, I love tacos, and then Miranda's like, ew, like tacos are gross. And then I would be like, but I love tacos. And now though, I'm like offended, and I don't know if I should share anything else because someone just said no to me. They yucked my yum. Or in the same sense of, you know, oh, I want to do a project at senior citizen home. I want to do this game night. And then someone comes up and is like, well, we did a game night at a senior home like 5 years ago, and they had like an outbreak. It was horrible. Like, we can't do that again. Like, that person, this other person came to you with all their hopes and dreams, and you just crushed it in front of them. What we do as JCs is we hand them a project management guide and we say, write down your ideas. I want to hear it. And then in the end, if you really, they're going to, through our process, find out if one, they have the courage and the advocacy skills to push their project forward. And we didn't take that opportunity away from them. We put it in their hands to either make happen or not happen. So again, JCs, say yes. This is our playground to fail and learn from our mistakes, all while surrounded by a network of supportive support and other members in our same boat. So say yes to yourself and to your fellow leaders. And where else can you find that? I don't really know of any other organization or environment as a young person where I've seen those experiences. I am from Montana. There's only 1 million people there. So I know that my experience is limited and the network that I was part of, but JC's is truly a unique experience. And once we all embrace that empowerment and uplifting spirit, what are you guys laughing about?
Because I will always say yes to tacos, FYI.
Oh, okay. Miranda loves tacos. Don't want to portray her as an anti-taco person. I love tacos too. Okay. I love it. But anyway, so as a member, you were given this platform to have a voice and to be able to speak and to be listened to and heard. And it doesn't mean that if so-and-so comes to me and they have a crazy idea that we have to do it, but we have to give them the opportunity to like put it down to paper and build a plan. And I guarantee you, if they're a loony person or someone that's not following through, they're not going to end up following through and they will fail themselves on that. But in the end, if we're saying yes and supporting one another, you never know what kind of cool idea and structure of a plan that could come to the table in the end. And it might change your whole chapter and change the whole trajectory of our future. So just remember that key advice. And if we truly are all living this, we all are human. And again, like this says, this is our playground to fail and learn from our mistakes. Like I said, if I have a major breakdown and I get really angry at my fellow JC member because we were working on this project together and I wasn't happy with them, I need to remember our mission statement about opportunities, empowerment, positive change, and say, wow, that really didn't fall within our mission. I need to go talk to that person and follow up, probably take accountability and apologize for the experience I put them through, and then see if we can kind of come to a better place and move on. Because the last thing I want to do is cripple our collaborative efforts as a chapter, all because I had a bad day. So that is why we say yes. That's why we constantly remember our mission statement, which is, again, to provide development opportunities that empower young people to create positive change. So we need to model the behavior we want to see. So if we want to see positivity and empowerment, then everyone at the international level, everyone at the national level, everyone at the state level, and everyone at the chapter level, especially in leadership, need to exude that and live that out, because our local leaders, our local members, and again, if you are a new member on this orientation, you as the local member are the most important person in this whole scheme of things, because you are bringing individual experiences, individual upbringing, unique skill sets, and everything that you are truly like snowflakes are all unique and individual. Each person is the same way and they bring something amazing to the table. But if we're all modeling this cultural brand from the top, it's going to truly inspire everybody. Again, the next thing, so you want to model that behavior, you want to see, you want to connect with people you lead. So you want to As a member of a chapter, you want to connect with your fellow members. Ask them to go to coffee, ask them to have a phone call, ask them to connect somehow, however that is, however, whatever your budget, whatever your job allows for your finances, a phone call is very affordable and an opportunity to connect. And I guarantee when you put yourself out there, connect with a fellow member, it will truly change your life. Every time that I've taken the time to go to coffee, dinner, or do a phone call with a member, I feel like I've made a new best friend. And so please do that. And later at the end, I'll show my graphic that's on my Facebook about stepping out of your comfort zone, because once you start stepping out of your comfort zone is when new opportunities are going to come into play. The last thing is to involve each other as much as possible. So again, that has to do with collaboration and hearing everyone's unique ideas and unique experiences and opinions and knowledge that they brought to the table, and hearing them out and hearing what they have to bring to the table. So again, that's it. You model, connect, and involved, and that's how you get involved as a member, and what you should rely on, that your peers are coming from the same place and the same culture.
There's a well-known story about a university professor who wanted to make a point about how we make the most of our time. The professor stood before his class with some items in front of him. When the class began, without speaking, he picked up a large empty jar and proceeded to fill it with rocks about 2 inches in diameter. He then asked the students if the jar was full. They agreed that it was full. So the professor then picked up a box of pebbles and poured them into the jar. He shook the jar lightly and watched as the pebbles rolled into the open areas between the rocks. The professor then asked the students again if the jar was full. They chuckled and agreed that it was indeed full this time. The professor picked up a box of sand and poured it into the jar. The sand filled the remaining open areas of the jar. Now, said the professor, I want you to recognize that this jar signifies your life. The rocks are the truly important things, such as family, health, and relationships. If all else was lost and only the rocks remained, your life would still be meaningful. The pebbles are the other things that matter in your life, such as work or school. The sand signifies the remaining small stuff and material possessions. If you were to put sand into the jar first, there is no room for the rocks or the pebbles. The same can be applied to your lives. If you spend all your time and energy on the small stuff, you will never have room for the things that are truly important. Pay attention to the things in life that are critical to your happiness and well-being. Take time to look after your health, play with your children, go for a run, write a letter to your grandmother. There will always be time to go to work, clean the house, or watch TV. Take care of the rocks first. The things that really matter, set your priorities. The rest is just pebbles and sand. There's a well-known story about...
So before we go into our history, did anyone have anything to say about that video and what they think? And my relation to that is that as a JC member, when you come to the table and be a JC, I want you to reflect and figure out what your rocks are so that you can truly know what you're focusing on and what you're trying to strengthen, because the JCs is a place that you can come help mold and build those rocks to be stronger in your life and in your soul. So does anyone have anything to say about that video? All good if you don't, but hopefully you got the point and the idea of what we're trying to say here. Again, focus on you being happy, you being fulfilled in life. Focus on helping others in our chapters be fulfilled and achieving their goals and empowering each other. And the sky's the limit. And it's such a beautiful opportunity in a world out there when we're all living from that place. So with all that said and done, I'm going to move into some of the basics about JCI USA and the JC's movement overall. So our history. So 105 years ago, our founder, Henry Giesenbier, he had a vision that through collaboration with one another and civic engagement, young people could be empowered to advance more quickly as young adults to achieve more goals in their life, all while making our world a better, safer, and more peaceful place. He believed in a great purpose of fellowship, advancement, and everything which would make a good boy a better boy, a good student a more proficient scholar, and a good citizen a better citizen. And 100 years ago, the 29 chapters came together in St. Louis in January of this year, about 100 years ago, and they formed the United States Junior Chamber of Commerce. And in June, this past June, 100 years ago, they elected Henry Giesenbier to be the first national president of the national organization. And that's when they really got to work and they started creating all these opportunities. And I don't know how many of you are young. I mean, you've all been younger at one time, but when you got out of college or out of high school, whatever your path was, whatever your opportunity was, I'm sure that you were treated a certain way by older adults, saying that you had to put time in to be taken seriously. You weren't just going to get that raise. You weren't just going to be valued or taken seriously until you put in the time and effort. And in some of our jobs, we're not being given the opportunities to develop all the skills that you would need to be able to manage time, people, and assets, and be able to run budgets and create finance opportunities for the business you're working in. And so, you know, Henry brought all these young people together to kind of work together to create those opportunities, to learn the skill sets they needed so they could be taken seriously in their careers and be successful. And essentially they had hopes and goals and dreams, and they were able to achieve them because of creating this JC's framework and this opportunity. And then that byproduct of the positive change in the communities, another thing that exists is, you know, they helped Charles Lindbergh. He was a member. They helped him with the airmail. We did Get Out the Vote campaign and got more people voting in our elections. We worked at getting seatbelts installed in cars. We we're the reason there's lines on the sides of the highways. Street lights are another thing that the JCs came together as young, strong, empowered people creating a better world. So other JC milestones. So, and again, 1923 was Get Out the Vote campaign, increased voter turnout. In 1927, we worked with Charles Lindbergh to do U.S. airmail. In 1936, the JC's guidance helped establish the National Wildlife Federation. In 1959, the JC support and effort helped Alaska and Hawaii statehood be granted. And in 1972, the Operation Red Ball campaign distributed over 5 million stickers to reduce fire fatalities. And in 1993, JC's Against Youth Smoking campaign launched to reduce underage smoking. Again, those other initiatives I talked about earlier are there as well in our history. And there's also many more that have existed in our past. So membership, being part of the JCs has its benefits. JC's benefits and opportunities are: one, being part of a local, national, and international organization of young active citizens. There's literally hundreds of thousands of members around the world that you could be connected with and to relate to, and that could help and support you because they have a skill set that you want support on, or they have an experience that can help better your life. We have civic engagement opportunities, project management experiences, leadership skill development, trainings to improve professional and personal skills. We have competitions so that you can learn to be a better speaker, you can learn to advocate better, and you can be a team and do debate experiences as well. And then we also, obviously, we have the ability to do interview competitions, resume building. Then you can build genuine friendships within your town, within your state, within the nation and the world. And then we have also available discounts on hotels, car rentals, insurance, and office supplies, which I'll show you that here in a minute. You also have the opportunity to travel and resume enhancement back to competitions. But with travel too, when you get involved in the JC structure and you become a leader in your state, in your local level, you get the opportunity then to become a leader in the state, which all of your dues, essentially the dues are meant to help support that leadership structure opportunity. So when you move up, there's budget and money there to help with those travel costs to help get you there. Because as you grow and you learn as a leader in this organization, you are building skills that you can bring back home and share with your members, or you can go travel around the world and share with other members to help build them up uplift them, and empower them. Again, we have this sheet that talks about some other opportunities in joining. So one is to make deep and meaningful connections, build your leadership skills, enjoy travel, new experiences, receive world-class training. And the amazing thing about this year is that we now can teach our JCI official trainings digitally. We can also empower our local members that have skill sets that so many crave to have to lead out and offer digital trainings as well in that sense. We have those membership discounts that I'll share in a minute. Again, the skills development, advocacy, empowerment, impact. I think most people that join the JCs, they just want to make a difference in the world. And this is your opportunity. And then again, that network. And I talk a lot about network with pandemic. When you're forced to be at home and you have to quarantine, you can't be anywhere. The last thing you want to do is cut yourself off from the world. You are part of the JCs and you are part of a network that you can get online. You can be part of an orientation with all these amazing people. You can have your chapter have online meetings. You can have digital events that bring people together. And when those opportunities start opening up, you're able to bring more people to the table because there's less time commitment and more opportunity to really blow it out of the water and get those opportunities to our members. So another benefit of the organization and an opportunity that exists with our programming is Passport to Civic Leadership. This is so now that you've joined the JCs, you need to sign up for this program. This helps you stay accountable to being a member and engaging and growing as a member. It's your roadmap. It gives you the action steps to take through the JC's experiences and start sharing truly all of the opportunities exist. I could share all the opportunities that exist here, but it would just go in one ear and out the other because I don't want to keep you longer than we have to on this. But by being engaged in this program, you will truly learn about all those opportunities. Completion of the steps are called a degree, and there's a total of 10. And when you achieve your 10th degree, you receive a certificate and a pin from the president. And you can sign up through jcmember.com, which is your membership profile, or you can email the Passport Program Manager, who this year is Parker Thornbeck of Iowa, and it's at passport@jciusa.org. But with that said, I highly encourage you to get involved in it. And you can write it on your resume and write that you're a 10th degree JC. And a lot of people might not know what that is, but it's definitely a conversation starter because they can be like, what does that mean? And you can share all of your amazing JC's experiences. That's probably going to land you that job because a lot of people don't have the experiences that you get in the JCs. So regarding skills development in the organization, we have our competitions. And so these are opportunities to personally develop in a friendly environment with some competitive spirit. I know that MVP Miranda is very competitive, but it's aimed at improving our skills and just really honing in on that. We have more information at jciusa.org, especially under our library tab under resources, but we do public speaking, debate, effective writing, and then interview and portfolio sessions. In JCI USA, we recently changed that it's called You're Hired. So there's a whole process where we review your LinkedIn profile. We have you submit a video kind of advocating for the role or to promote the JC's organization, and then do a formal interview process. And then we have individuals come in and judge and share everything that was great about it, everything that could be improved about it. And in the end, it's all about a development opportunity to become better. Again, our skills development, which includes trainings. We just released a new one, which is called JCI Discovery, which is it takes this orientation to the next level to really learn more about the impact you can make in yourself and the community. Then we have other ones called JCI Admin, which is how you learn to build organizational structure. Presenter, which teaches you how to present ideas, present in front of a room of members, and kind of learn how to advocate to a group and get them on your side and to persuade them to learn, to see your side and to possibly buy into your idea and what you're trying to promote and sell, and to get them to say yes. The other one is networking. So really learning how to work within your community, get to know others, bring those different sectors of society together, and also just meet other members and learn what are their goals? How can I help you? What are some skill sets that we can help each other to become better? Followed by social responsibility, which creates awareness that individuals have responsibility to their community and the environment. Effective meetings is how to run effective meetings, obviously. And those are things that you can take to your work and into your personal life to be able to just to draw people to an event or an activity or a meeting that you're wanting them to come to, and learning how to be efficient with that time. And then effective communication, which covers all the forms of communication. And there used to just be one or two effective communications, and now there's a bunch of series of that. And those, for me personally, are the most informative trainings I've ever experienced in my life. And I'm in marketing, and they've just really taught me a lot about how we present ourselves to other groups and other people, and making sure that we're clear and concise and to the point, and really selling that passion and energy to advocate for ourselves again and advocate as a group in the JCs. So here's our discounts page. The Wyndham Hotel Group, Travel Set Go, Constant Contact discount, Brooks Brothers, prescriptions, and then the Office Depot and Office Max discount. I have heard members who swear on that discount because I've heard of members and state organizations and chapters literally saving thousands of dollars in printing just with that discount. And that is an amazing one. All of this is available on jciusa.org under resources with our library tab. It takes you to the library page where you're able to access these documents. So again, for digital access and those resources, you can find opportunities here. On the left of the screen, I have the JCI USA website. This is where you can go to learn more about the opportunities and experiences we offer for your membership. That's on the left. On the right side is the jci.cc website, which that is the overarching organization. And that is the group that offers different events, and I'll share more about what they're offering. But in the end, that's the overarching group that connects this network that's global and brings everyone together with our different cultures, our different languages, our different upbringings, our different experiences, and our different opportunities to support one another in everything we're doing. And just know that in your town, the problem you have is probably the same problem that's happening around the planet in India. And India solved that problem. And now you have the opportunity to be connected. If you share that this is our problem and we need help, you have a whole line of a network to connect us to India to make sure that we provide that back to you. But you have to vocalize it, and you have to intentionally know that that's what you want to do before you can vocalize it. More opportunities, obviously, our database. That's where your member information is held. Here you can keep your contact information up to date. I just sent out information to my team member, or sent things in the mail to my team members. I was hoping that their membership information was up to date so that they received those things. You can also you can use it as a chapter, and you can take meeting attendance. You can create press releases from our templates now. And that is something that the chapter president can give you access to. You can enroll in your passport to civic leadership. And then as a chapter, you can keep engaged with the civic leadership certification, which is an opportunity where you as a chapter get to hold each other accountable and look at this task list of things that, if you want to be the most well-rounded chapter in all opportunities that JCI brings to the table, you can get involved in that program so that you can attract as many young people to your organization as possible in your community, and that you're doing well-rounded programming. And that's really the basis of what that program is for. And it just helps you be more relevant and more successful. More opportunities here again. It's MVP Miranda on here this year. She's overseeing communications. And again, we're on Facebook. We have a lot of our events listed on Facebook to be able to find out who's interested, who's coming. We have our Instagram page and then our YouTube page. Those are the main important ones. We also have a Pinterest page. We have a Canva account. We have a Twitter page. And those are just other opportunities that exist. But these are the ones we're really focusing on right now. And in the end, it's all about just sharing that empowerment, that positivity, that motivation and inspiration to be our best. If you are a local member and you see another member doing outstanding work, you need to go to our website at jciusa.org, and we have a tab on there where you're able to thank people and nominate them to be highlighted on the national level to showcase that individual and the amazing work they're doing. So make sure and get involved in that. And then any videos we do, we usually post those on our YouTube page so that you can go there and find out what's the latest thing going on that we've been sharing on YouTube. So go check those out. Chapter structure. So traditionally, our structure is obviously the membership is number one most important person in the organization, and they get to decide everything through the democratic process. But usually we have a president, we have vice presidents and other board members, which those board members are usually like a secretary or a treasurer. But you can have vice presidents that oversee membership. You can have a vice president that focuses on community, focuses on skills development, individual development, one that focuses on the management and just keeping things organized and all the details going. You can have directors overseeing socials, directors overseeing helping support those vice presidents, and then you have the chair of people that are overseeing projects, and then you have the committee members of the projects that are obviously run by the members. This is kind of an old school traditional structure, and we are open to having members come to the table with new structures and how they run their chapters. I know my own chapter is running differently from this. But what you and your members want to figure out. What's important is that you are providing development opportunities that empower young people to create positive change. And it doesn't just mean to your members, that means to all young people of your community. That is your goal, is to empower them. And maybe they don't join your organization, but maybe you convince them to join another organization and to contribute to society. That is our goal. And if that happens, we are winning. Everyone wins in that scenario. So again, with a leadership structure, the main goal of leaders in the chapter is to take an area of opportunity and connect the members to those opportunities. So if you have a community vice president, that person's job is just to talk to all the members, but skew their conversation towards community and finding out what are our passions and interests in the community. What's the overall feeling like? Do most of our members want to help youth? Do they want to help senior citizens? Do they want to get involved in the environment? What do they want to do? If no one's talking to the members, then you're not going to know what anyone wants to do. And then the community VP is just going to be trying to come up with projects on their own, and they're going to get burnt out and frustrated. So in the end, as a leader of a chapter, it's just your job to go in and have conversations, take them to coffee, have phone calls, and just really get a good feel for what the ingredients of your chapter are this year, and find out what you're going to do to really pique their interest. Because no one on a board of directors should be running projects. It should be all members running projects, and the board of directors are just having conversations and keeping the spirit and the energy and excitement alive. Again, individual development or skills development VP would be talking to members, finding out their skill sets, connecting members to each other to say, oh, like you want a new job and you need to build up your resume, you need to go talk to this member because they're really good at doing resumes. You're just a connector under a certain area of opportunity. Leaders inspire and motivate. They are not to be running all the projects. So when we go beyond local, JCI USA. So this is beyond your local chapter. There's a state level. and then the states all come together and we have our national organization. Nationally, we host 4 event opportunities per year. One is State President's Retreat. So if you have the desire and the courage and the motivation to step up and be a state leader, a state president, you get to come together and meet all the other state presidents around this country and become friends and become confidants and become supporters of one another, so that whatever comes your way your year, you have someone that's in your same shoes and the same boots that you have, and you can lean on one another. 2 is North American Academy. So that's a development opportunity for our local chapter presidents and other chapter leaders that feel like they want a better opportunity to connect again with other people in their same shoes, in their same boots, that can really relate to them and understand. And so you guys come together and we really teach you again to be intentional, to change your behaviors, to build your network so that you can personally achieve your goals as an individual and your goals as a chapter leader moving into your year. We also offer an opportunity alongside with Nothing But Nets and their advocacy summit in Washington, D.C. That's actually not one of our 4 events that we offer, but it is another thing that's out there. And then we have our year-end celebration with awards, in our convention, and we have our annual meeting with competitions and Toya, which is the 10 Outstanding Young Americans Gala. With those 2 last events that we host, those are just amazing opportunities to be able to come together, to collaborate, to share experiences and ideas, to share stories so that you can learn from one another and come out of that experience feeling like, wow, I had all these challenges and I met these amazing people and they're backing me. They're going to help me get through and go back home and do the things I wanted to do. And those things can be personal or they can be collective for you as a group, as a chapter, as your community. Again, your member profile is jcmember.com, and coming soon, JCI USA will be releasing a swag store that will, everything is off of jciusa.org and available through that main platform. But we will have a swag store for merchandise coming out that our members will be able to purchase and be able to wear with pride your JCI gear to empower you even more. Again, you can download marketing materials and other useful resources from our library on jciusa.org. We have an online leadership and recruitment training through our resources on jciusa.org. So if you're looking to run for a leadership position, if you want to be a chapter president, if you want to be a vice president, go to this page and take the trainings. You get to do them at your own pace, so you don't have to worry about anyone else's timeline. You get to do it on your timeline. And there's some amazing insight and videos of our members and everything to make your experience be the best possible. The USJC Foundation also offers grants for financial support right now. Actually, if you are engaged in a project locally in your community, in your chapter, and it is engaging other members to step up and help, to get out on the streets, to go purchase items, or to to do something where their hands are getting dirty, then and it's also building relevance in the community that you exist and that you're here to make change. If you want to buy a bunch of masks and hand them out, you need to submit for this grant, because you can get $5,000 to go buy all those masks. And that's a lot of money. And that is an opportunity that the USJC Foundation is offering this year. And so get involved in that. And ask us questions. You can ask any of us at the national level. I guarantee the state presidents have to know about it now. We are like putting this in everyone's face. And so we want to flood the foundation with as many grant requests as possible, because that's an amazing opportunity to be given $5,000 to get people out on the streets, doing something amazing, being safe, wearing masks, hand sanitizer, but making a difference and an impact. And then our national office is based in St. Louis, Missouri, for JCI USA. Now, JCI, the international organization, that website is jci.cc. The United States, JCI USA, we are part of JCI America, which is our region. We are made up of North America, Central America, the Caribbean, and South America. There are total our region has a conference called Conference of America that's held in May or June. Next year in May, it'll be held in Panama City, Panama, in Central America. There are a total of 4 regions with America, Africa, Middle East, Europe, and Asia Pacific, and each has their own conference between April and June of every year. JCI World Congress, JCI puts on one large event where all the members from around the world come together, and that's usually held in the first or second week of November. This year, World Congress will be held digitally, and so the amazing opportunity is that it is coming to your living room, and everyone can partake in that. And so my challenge as the 100th National President to you is to get as many members as possible partaking in classes and trainings and speaking engagements that JCI is going to be offering for World Congress this year, which is that first week in November. They're going to spread it out into 2 weeks. There's going to be a ton of information coming out for it, but truly do everything you can to get yourself and your fellow members to this event and this opportunity. JCs, we are in 5,000 plus communities around the world in nearly 120 countries. And JCI also takes all the competitors from the chapter, state, national level, and they come together and they compete to see who is the best speaker, who is the best debate team, and they get to practice with each other and really hone in their skills every year. And that's an opportunity offered through JCI. So we are coming up to our time here, but again, remember our mission statement: provide development opportunities that empower young people to create positive change. JCI empowers me. That is the slogan I have been pushing and promoting, because our why as an organization is empowerment. And if we embrace that over all the little mini small things that we do, but we just embrace that one thing about empowerment of looking at someone in the eye and saying, what do you need to do in your life to be happy? Let's get you there. Come with me. That's a powerful statement, and that's going to really engage you. And as a new member on this orientation, or an old member, a senior member, someone that's never been to an orientation, that is truly the power of the JCI movement and the opportunity that exists for you. And once you know what you want, we can help you get you there. But you have to know what you want. And that's why tonight it's my charge to you to figure out what you want with your life, so that you can start sharing that with your peers and we can help you achieve that. This is that graphic I was talking about. So your potential begins at the end of your comfort zone. If you're uncomfortable filming yourself on social media, if you're uncomfortable approaching a young person out in public and talking about the JCs, push yourself to start doing it, because I promise you, and you can't really make a lot of promises in life because sometimes they don't follow through. But with this promise, I promise you, you are going to learn something from that experience and become a better person. So push your comfort zone, decide what you want to do and go after it, because this life is short and you deserve to be happy and you deserve to achieve everything you wanted. And our last slide is just information that Ross can jump back on and share as we continue this membership series moving forward.
Thank you, President Justin. Just really quick, Chapter President Jenny from Wyoming was asking in regards to the grants application process. I just wanted to note to everyone that it's not necessarily a one and done type of thing. So you can apply for the grant as often as you'd like. And then it goes through that approval process each and every time. So just so everyone knows, you can apply for that as often as you need to.
Right. You can replicate that project over and over again and ask for another $5,000. Or if you have 4 projects that you do throughout the year and 3 of them you think would apply for this, apply 3 separate times for those 3 projects. And they will review them. And also they'll come back to you and give you suggestions to figure out how to better your project so that they can approve it. So it's kind of a win-win situation, I think.
For sure. It's a great program too. And along with that, we have a lot of different incentives that we're doing as far as membership goes too. So I mentioned at the beginning of the session, our August incentive is all about recruitment. And hopefully this presentation is a good recruitment tool for you as a chapter member and a chapter leader. If you and your chapter build a prospect list in the database, and if you need help doing that, let any member of our team know and we'll walk you through that. But in the month of August, any chapter that builds a prospect list of at least 10 members in the database will be entered into a drawing to win a $150 chapter grant for membership development materials. So that's basically $153 of things that you can utilize within your chapter to network within your community. So it's a great opportunity to build your chapter with more members, but it's also a great opportunity for you to get those supplemental materials too that may be a little bit tough to get sometimes. So if anybody has any questions with that, please let us know. Same thing with these series. These are a bi-weekly series. So our next one will be on August 24th, and we'll be talking about recruitment and prospecting with past President Tricia and Leadership Development Director Heather. So this session is strictly for our members. So if you have questions, please ask us during those sessions. It'll be live just like it is now. And then as we continue these, if you have different ideas or things that you'd like to see on these, I ask you to reach out to us and let us know what you want, because these are truly for each and every single member of this organization. So with that being said, I appreciate everybody that jumped on, whether it be Facebook Live or on Zoom here. And I also thank you, President Justin, for kicking off the series tonight.
Thank you. This is an honor. I hope everyone, maybe I help change some perspective and people realize that they truly deserve to be happy and deserve to achieve things. And you can do it in the JCs. This isn't just a volunteer experience. This is your fast track to success, and then also helping others be successful.
Awesome. And thank you so much for, like I said, putting this on tonight. Hopefully this is a great tool for all of our chapters. If anybody has any questions, feel free to let us know. Otherwise, have a great night, and thanks for jumping on. We'll see you on the 24th. Good night, everybody.